And so that's basically my entire lineup of Godzilla versus Kong toys. I'm going to be 100% honest. Reviewing this or reviewing these toys over the past day or so has been kind of a not a surreal experience, but and this is going to be really odd, kind of nostalgic. Now, hold up. Aren't these figures only like 3 years old? Yes, they are. Well, actually, technically four because they were released in 2020, some of them were. And the movie didn't come out until 2021, so some of them are actually 3 years old. But I like to think of these figures as almost like a gateway back to when it was an odd time. Of course, like smack dab right in the middle of the pandemic. Pretty much the whole world was changed at that point. And this was like basically my collecting for a little while. Because NECA stopped their Godzilla line midway through 2020. So this was kind of it for a little while. I will say it was kind of like a mix between this and the classic line. But really, it's such a fascinating gateway to like go back and relook at these old figures that I once got in the pandemic. And I will say this, like even just looking at the figures now, it's awesome to see just how much Playmates has grown from these to the GXK line, which in my opinion is done a lot better as far as like consistency is concerned. Kinda. I will say the Godzilla Evolved is as good as it is. The Kong with Beast Glove is just an overall executed better figure, but that's like a whole can of worms for another day. But as for these, yeah, I really dig them. I like the Godzillas they put out. I like the MechaGodzillas they put out, and I like the Kongs, plus the Warbat, the Skullcrawler, even though I don't own the Warbat. It's still fascinating and just awesome to see, especially like the giants and, just everything here. Do I plan to get the rest of the line? Honestly, no. With how rare some of them are, well, rarer compared by comparison, I should add, it's just kind of odd, honestly, because I think just as for convenience sake, I'm just gonna stick with the GXK line because at least that's new, that's current. I know they're still continuing like the MonsterVerse line because the GVK line evolved into the MonsterVerse line. Then we got G14, King Ghidorah, Skull Island Kong, and then they're getting reissues of those guys. But this is really like I feel like they should start reissuing like all of them. Like this was awesome, and I hope that we can return to something like this. I'm not saying like in the middle of a pandemic, but maybe like bring back the old GXK sets because a lot of them haven't been reissued yet. Like these guys, for example, even though we have the more cheaper or more expensive by $5 giant ones from the new Empire, these are still fun to look at. And honestly, I think that literally, what am I really trying to say? It's just fun to reminisce and brings me back to when collecting Godzilla figures and Kong figures was more common than ever. Until eventually stockage just got cut and eventually the classic line went, at least we got it back with the GXK line. But I think really all these figures are really great. Some of them are better than others. For example, this is probably my favorite of the bunch. That's my least. But really, it all comes down to personal preference. If you like your GXK figures with a ton of variety, this is definitely the line. It's got a lot of options and resale value from what I'm looking at, it's like $20 per figure, which is not bad because you're still getting a 6-inch figure with battle damage and an accessory for each. That's not a bad deal, especially given the fact that Monster Arts won't give us anything for like what $100 plus. Looking at you, Shimo. Yes, I know Shimo comes with the alternate Kong. Is it the Beast Glove? Or is it a head? I forget. I think it's the head, but whatever. But still. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, definitely leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everyone.